What is going on, guys? It's Wiz with another Titan Solar 3.0 video. And yeah, you heard about Titan's melee getting nerfed, but that doesn't change much. We are still the king of the jungle. So I'm gonna show you the new build that I run. Even in 1590 low sector, we run around like we have no F given, you know. So Titan is still the king. In any case, I'm going to show you the build that I'm running, and then I will leave a link in the description for the Destiny item manager link. That way you can copy it if you want to, and you can still make a lot of changes to make it your own. So let's go. So first thing, of course, we are using this Solar 3.0. For abilities, I am running the Towering Barricade. Some people like the short one because it gives you a lot of benefit, and the cooldown is a lot shorter, but you know, it's your preference. And then jumps, same thing. And of course, the throwing hammer is king. And as far as the grenade, termite grenade, but all the other ones are very good option, especially if you want more survivability. You can even run the healing grenade. So, you know, you have a lot of options. Now, for the aspect, I am running Roaring Flame. This one is very popular. And then I'm also running Consecration. Consecration is very good now because now instead of one fragment slot, you have two. So that's a change. And this is one of the reasons that I decided to use this, because you have more fragments to use. And it is very good. If you get used to it, you are going to be king. If you're not used to it, basically all you do is just slide and then press your melee button at the same time and then press it again, and then you will have all this big damage. It does a lot of damage. So that's why we're using it, because it is very good, and you don't have to really rely on the throwing hammer just to do that. Just, you know, you can get those big damage. That's why we are running this. And then for the Roaring Flame, there's a very big advantage to it. For instance, at the bottom where you say, while Roaring Flame is active, your uncharged melee attack deals solar damage and scorched target. That means even if you don't have a charged melee, just go punch something and then you can deal the solar damage. You know, that is very good. That's why this build, it is very good. And now as far as the fragments, you know, you always have a lot of choices, but we are running Ember of Empyrean for the benefit that it provides, solar ability, final blows, extended duration. And then we are running Ember of Torches. This is always good to run because, you know, you get your allies radiant every time you use a charge melee. And then as far as this Ember of Solace, I know some people don't want to use it together with this, but it does stack. I can see that I have more time when I use this together, but you have option to use other ones. Like for instance, you can use Benevolence, because if you are in a team, this is a lot more advantageous, so you can use that. So with no issues. And then for the last one, we are running Ember of Searing. Whenever you defeat the scorched target, you got melee energy. And for the melee, you want that as often and as soon as possible whenever you're running this build. But I'm going to show you some other way that you can get your melee back as fast as possible if you so choose. Now, as far as weapons and armor, so you can run Monte Carlo if you're worried about losing your hammer or you don't have a charge melee. Then you can run Monte Carlo. Monte Carlo can give you your melee back as fast as possible. All you gotta do is just shoot things. You shoot things and the next thing you know, your melee is back. So if you want to use that just because you want to get your melee back as fast as possible, then you can do that. Now that's an option, but you don't have to use that. But normally, you know, I would run my Wither Horde in a lot of the content, especially any content that doesn't require you to have champion mods on or using weapons to deal with champions. Then, you know, I always run this. But you have a lot of options to use in the kinetic slot. And we always run the Callous Minotaur because it is very good, especially with the right perks. You can do a lot of things. That's one of the reasons that we are running this fragment right here, because solar weapon ability final blows, extended duration of restoration and radiance. So if you will have a solar weapon, then you can make your stuff go longer. That's why we're running the Callous Minotaur a lot of the time. It doesn't have to be this. You can use other weapons, but you know, this one is really good. And as far as power weapon, you know, you have a lot of choices as well. But, you know, I sometimes run the Ridge Regret. All the time I run rocket launchers. It's whatever you want to do. Now, let's go over to the armor. And for the armor, of course, we are running the Loyalist Splendor Helm. This is the only armor you need in Solar 3.0. If you're not using this, I don't know what to tell you. But now, as far as the mods that we are running, so I decided to use the bountiful wells because I want those 2 wells every time I create well with my melee. In any case, you can also have, you know, whatever you want here. But if you don't want to use a ammo finder, you can use other things, and you have other options. Depends on the weapons that you are using. You can, you know, choose those or those. And then of course you want those resilience. We want to get the resilience to 100%. That's what makes Titan the best this season, or probably in the future as well. On my arm, I'm running melee well maker because, you know, whenever you use that consecration, that's melee, you know, so you're gonna make those wells with those melee well maker. So I'm using this. And if you're not running any activity that requires you to deal with champions, then you have an option to use other mods that would fit your build, and so that doesn't matter. In any case, you also need some resilience. And then for our chest piece, I am running Seeking Well. I like to run Seeking Wells because I want to make sure those wells comes to me, depending on the distance, so I don't have to go seek for them. And then for protection, you get some concussive dampener. I always use this on my build. And then for the seasonal protection, Armor of the Dying, you got both solar and void protection from this. And then of course some more resilience. And then for my legs, I am using Well of Life. That's why I'm using a solar armor. So you can try to do something different, but with the Well of Life, whenever you get those elemental wells, so you got that healing coming to you. So it is for more protection and more tankiness. And then you have options to use other mods. So, you know, I'm using this one, and I'm also using this one to make sure that my class ability, they go a lot faster. And then because I have enough resilience, so I'm running some discipline, or you can use some other ones. And finally, for the class item, this is where you have a lot of options. You can use either elemental affinity that you want. So I'm running a stasis, but you know, really doesn't matter. So it's whatever you want. But what's important, we are running the elemental charge because we are running elemental wells build. So make sure you get this on, that way you can get those wells. And then I decided to run Classy Restoration. Now this is the season of solar, and then Classy Restoration is king. So I'm running this, but you don't have to for this build, because say that the season is over, then you can still run the build without Classy Restoration. You are still gonna be good to go. But I decided to run this. You can also make a lot of other options. There's a lot of other options that you can run, but Classy Restoration, also because I want to take advantage of solar weapons, so I'm running this. But again, you don't have to. And then of course running some utility kickstart. That way, when your class ability energy is fully expended, that means you don't have anything left, then you gain some class ability energy back. So that's why we're running this, and then you can only get this on stasis armor. But you have other options with other elemental affinity. And we had some discipline, so whatever we can fit in our build. And that's basically all you have for the build. Again, you can try this build and have a lot of fun. Don't worry about melee being nerfed. You are still the king. You will complete Lost Sector 1590 with no issue, just like you see me doing in the beginning, and you will have no problem. Now, with activity that has no champions, it's even easier. So go out there and try this out, and let me know in the comment section how it goes. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys later.